I've been getting a lot of comments recently about different stances you guys wanted me to cover, and I was getting a lot more than usual, and since it's been a while, I might as well make another Sans AU video. Now, I've been getting a ton of comments about things I got wrong in my past videos, and it's nice that you guys take the time to explain certain things to me. From what I've seen, Undertale alternate timelines are essentially versions where events transpire differently, while alternate universes are versions of Undertale that have at least one big change to them. But wouldn't that mean alternate timelines are alternate universes, because both take place in alternate locations where something different took place? Wouldn't changing the flow of time and creating something out of the ordinary create an alternate universe? Man, the multiverse is confusing as hell. Anyways, I got some good ones for you today, so let's get started. Oh boy, when I first saw Frogget Sans requested, I was thinking, oh, this guy is gonna be funny. It's probably gonna be like a Frogget with Sans' hoodie or something silly like that. It was not. So I'm gonna give those who don't want to be scarred for life an out, and post the time frame to skip this Sans entirely on the screen now. As for the rest of you, we're gonna wait a couple seconds to let those who don't want to be scarred have an out. Alright, we should be good. Frogget Sans is an AU version of Sans who comes from the Under Anomaly universe created by Skull Anomaly. This Sans resides in a world 60 years after the original Undertale, and was the result of two timelines being born inside one another, or as the wiki calls it, Siamese twins. Now, a lot of dark and messed up stuff happens in this story, and if you want to read the full thing, I'll link it in the description below. But what happens with Sans is that he gets infected with a mysterious disease, resulting in him becoming horribly disfigured. He still dons his iconic hoodie, but his legs are now white, bloody, and frog-like, with his hands now being clawed and covered in blood. He wields Asgore's trident with a bell wrapped on it, and his face is covered in odd purple cysts, with a golden bubble-like object with a black middle plastered on his neck. It looks a lot like those bubbles produced on a frog's neck when it croaks. Now, what I'm describing is just a little part of a bigger story, and if you want to experience it for yourself, once again, check the description of this video. Seriously, it's a very detailed and interesting story, and I'm not doing it justice with this little portion of my video. Go check it out. Divine Last Breath Sans, or Divine LB Sans, is a Sans variant created by Cloak, a sprite animator who asked me specifically to put their AU in the video. Now, this LB Sans was approached by X-Gaster, who took the souls of everyone Divine defeated, combined them into one, and allowed him to absorb it, resulting in him having glowing red eyes and a massive red object on the right side of his head. Now, I don't know if this is a giant slash, fire, or a horn, but it looks pretty sick. This Sans sports a level of 100, wields the real knife, and has the power of true determination. With this power, he faces off against X-Gaster. The question is, does he win? Go watch Cloak's video and find out. I will link his channel in the description, and go watch his sprite animations. They're pretty awesome. This Sans has red bones, Gaster blasters he can ride on, spears, and what seems to be the ability to summon different versions of himself.
Toast!
Toast Sans is a Sans variant from the Tale AU created and requested by ToastArk. This Sans was created by an entity aptly named The Creator, a ghost-like being with a yellow halo. He wears a brown jacket with a yellow hood, brown shorts, yellow socks, and brown sneakers. This Sans fights with different colored toasts in the shape of bones, a Gaster blaster made out of toast, a toast greatsword, a toast shield, and the ability to make it rain butter. He can also summon toast that heals him. According to the creator themselves, Toast Sans was created because they thought giving Sans toast powers would be funny. And yeah, kinda is. All this talk about toast is making me start to crave it though. Team Split is a group of Sans AUs that was created by Yannick's BP. The group is led by Sans, a Sans AU previously covered in this series, and was formed in order to destroy or rehabilitate every evil Sans variant in the multiverse in order to keep it safe. They take in anyone who believes in their cause and follow a clear hierarchy. The Alphys are the ones who are closest to Dinai and the team's most powerful members. The Betas are in charge of healing and reconnaissance alongside being backup fighters. Gammas are those who dislike fighting and serve as scouts or scavengers, and Deltas are those who aren't actually part of the team, but do aid in their efforts occasionally. If you want, I can make a whole video on Team Split and go over each of the members. Alright, this information might be wrong because the wiki I found this information from was entirely in Japanese. I had to translate it all into English, but I feel like some stuff might have gotten lost in translation. Anyways, let's do this. Outspire Sans is a Sans AU created by XXKimchiXX. It's also an extremely well-made Scratch game. Like, holy crap, I didn't know Scratch games were this good. This Sans is from a timeline where the monsters have completely given up on going to the surface. Besides the traditional Sans attire, he has a dark yellowish green colored undershirt, headphones, a jade magatama or curved bead necklace, shoes instead of slippers, and a cigarette just floating next to him. His Gaster blasters also have a weird mark on their foreheads. Man, I still can't get over how impressive this fight is, and it was made in Scratch. That's crazy.
Stop!
Anxiety Sans is a Sans variant from the Anxiety-Tale universe created by Heisa. This is certainly one of the more interesting Sans variants. I tend to categorize these Sans AUs as either reality-destroying gods or just complete memes, but on rare occasions there are some who are just randomly mundane. A good example of this would be Underhat Sans. It's such a simple change that makes someone ask, why? Anyways, this Sans falls under that category. Anxiety is a coffee addict whose jokes are always awkward and fall flat. According to this video a commenter told me I should watch, his outfit was chosen by Papyrus. He is unable to face the human and always ends up looking away when interacting with them. His outfit is entirely made up of gray colors, with his undershirt being a turtleneck instead of a regular shirt. Despite how anxious he always is, he's actually a lot tougher than his original counterpart, as his constant trembling gives his attacks unpredictability. He also kinda reminds me of that kid from South Park, but I don't really remember their name.
And another thing, you're ugly.
Del Coniger is a Sans variant from the Overtime universe, a world where Undertale and TF2 are mashed together. This was created by a guy named German Peter, and Overtime itself is a full game that you can play. It's genuinely really good and has an amazing final boss. His outfit is essentially just that of the blue engineer from TF2, with the overalls, undershirt, goggles, and hard hat. His attacks are all based off of Enji's weapons, with his wrenches and secondary weapon the short circuit. Overall, one of the simpler Sans variants, and one of the only ones who is actually a human instead of a monster.
Here comes the money!
Here we go, money talk.
Decadent Society Sans, or DS Sans, is a Sans variant and an alternate version of Undertale Sans based on Swapfell Violet Papyrus. Confusing, I know. In fact, DS is so confusing that the wiki itself seems to be confused on what exactly his story is. All we really know is that there was a lot of infighting regarding DS's design, which ultimately resulted in a design change, which is weird because the decided canon design isn't what's shown first on his page. Anyways, this Sans doesn't seem to have a concrete backstory, but we know he constantly tries to make money and eats mayonnaise. He also sells chili dogs. His design is also pretty cool, with his former design having a scarred red eye, a jacket, and undershirt alongside a gold chain and cigarette. His new design sports a blue and green vest with blue eyes. The wiki is begging for more information, so I left it in the description for you DS Sans fans to go help them out. Inverted Fate, or Lieutenant Sans, is a Sans variant from a universe where Azrael failed to change the timeline, which resulted in the characters within it to become drastically different. Sans included. Created by Dorks, Lieutenant Sans was forced to kill his father at a young age in order to prevent the destruction of the core. He decided to become a member of the Royal Guard and ended up as the right-hand man of Alphys. This Sans dons a white shirt, black and white pants, blue boots, and a blue scarf. As a Royal Guard, however, he dons shiny gold armor, but keeps the blue scarf. Overall, this Sans is probably one of the most fleshed out variants I've ever seen, and his story deserves a read. Like everything else, I've linked it in the description. Alright, every time I reach the end of these videos, I have no idea how I want to finish them off. Writing a conclusion is hard. Anyways, remember to leave a comment on this video for what Sansa you want to see next, and I will see you all in the next video.